Shalom, Sat Sri Akal, saludos a todos, greetings. This is Antonio Subirats speaking, the author of the Book of the Sun, which is now on eBay. Give me a second and I shall show you. There you go, see, it's on eBay. Let me do it the other way around. This way. It has some bids. It's going for £145 right now. I don't know what it will go for. There is no buy it now price. Part of the reason why we did this is we want to see how much it goes for, what interest there is in it. Also, I'm not about to start playing Favour and sending it to one person when another person might want it more. And you're all flat earthers. Most of you who bought the book are flat earthers. Share it with the other flat earthers, for goodness sakes. Just lend it to them. You know, that's what I would do. I know people who bought copies and lent them to other notable flat earthers who didn't read it. But no, that's it's to their own. There is this little inconvenience for the Globelings, which is the fact that I predicted that two songs will be seen more often. Oops, happened in China just recently. I also predicted that there were more adverts for holidays in the north rather than in the south, and that's already happening. There are Scandinavian nations. I also explained that the stars are nexus points in a magnetic field, a magnetic array. I explained what a field is. It's an array. If you don't have an array, you don't have anything. An array is a matrix. Any kind of mesh that you like is a matrix, is an array. An array is not just an array of antennas, okay? It's an array of field lines. What are field lines? Array lines. What are array lines? Dude, just think a bit. Okay, I explained that the stars are the same as the sun, okay? So a nexus point. This isn't just me just pulling something out of my ass. This is from evidence of Venus. Venus seen in the sky, filmed by the Ham. I showed it many times. You can see the parhelia style shape that the star actually has when captured whilst in motion. So the Ham was flying to Iceland at the time. I explained that the stars are just junctions where field lines cross. It turns out that now astronomers are saying, oh my gosh, looks like stars and galaxies, which is what I explained, are in junctions of filaments, which is what I explained, exactly what I explained, and goes completely against their theory of gravity, because there's no tendrils of gravity between one star system and another. So, sorry, Globelings, but you're buggered because this flat earther guessed right. Oopsies. So, this flat earther's book is selling for £145. Oopsies, Simon Dan, didn't you send yours to your pal? Where's Wally? Yeah, maybe you could have recovered some of that money and given it to your son or something. Your charity. There. You could have just sold it for £145 and given that money to the charity that you support. Yeah, you could have done that, dumbass. So, the heck, there's a high-pitched sound. Oh yeah, so I'm no longer in a psychiatric ward. I'm now out in the community. I've been released. One second, I think there's a fridge or something. Anyway, so No, I'm not on any medication. I've not been discharged. Psychotic. What the hell is that high-pitched sound? Just a second. Right, never mind, it's the dishwasher.
What? Hold on.
It's the dishwasher. What's it beeping?
To say that it's finished.
Okay, well, it doesn't have to say it.
Yeah,
By the way,
no.
you're out on video, live.
Okay, you can now close it. Close it.
I'll close it in a minute. For God's sake.
Close it and then it stops.
That was me imagining psychotronic weaponry being used on me. Not really. So, discharged. What I was saying there in the first place, volatile emotional problems. What could have caused these volatile emotional problems? I don't know, maybe something like cancer. It's still doing the beeping thing, it's going to annoy the bejesus out of me, so I'm going to smash it with a hammer a bit. See if that fixes it. Sorry about that. Yeah, that is one of my paintings. It's an old impasto. What else was I going to say? Yeah, so several things that I guessed are correct. All of the things that I guessed are correct. And I'm going to keep doing this. For those of you who understand Valis, yeah, very few of you understand Valis. People like Sam and Dan wouldn't be able to wrap their heads around it, that's for sure. The new book is 1,000 times better than the Book of the Sun, if I say so myself. And yeah, it is going to be available soon. Let me just get into my cancer treatment, which is starting next Monday, and then I'll get into it. I'll get into publishing it, sending it out, selling it, making it available for people. Why don't you make it available for free, Antonio? Well, why don't you give me 3 years of your time for free, bitch? Huh? How about you do that? Give me 3 years of your time for free. No? You don't want to give me 3 years of your time for free? Then how about you fuck off? Okay. Wait, no. It's 3 years plus 49. That's right. Well, not plus 49, plus 46, because I'm 49. So, yeah. How about you give me all of your life for free? So, the book is available on eBay. It's now available for international buyers. Oh, let me see who's watching. There were 5 people watching, but all of them globings because nobody was leaving any comments. So that's interesting. Oh, there you go. Wobbly Boost, how you doing? Let's see how many people viewing. 26 people viewing of the channel that was killed by YouTube for showing inconvenient truths. Hey ho, says Scaris, Infinite Loops, Lawson, Wobbly Boost, Fred Johnson, P. Murray, Alice 106, Alfie Noakes. Hey, long time, Alfie Noakes. And let me see. Hammond Walker, your voice sounds a little stronger today. I'm glad to see you alive. I mean live. Oh, that was a good one. Guys, listen, okay? Just as certain as Tuesday follows Monday, it's certain that I'm going to get over this, okay? So really don't stress. Don't for a minute stress about it. I'm not, because I know that Tuesday follows Monday. Also because my newfound piety. Am I going to any protests? No, why would I do that? Says Crown Jewels. And Jason Rogers. Hey, Jason Rogers, how you doing? Alyssa Storen, it started at £25. That's bids. Alyssa Storen has written, it started at £25. That's bids. Yeah. Well, Alyssa Storen, it's my daughter. Hola, Alicia, how are you? How are you? That's my daughter. Yep, that's right. She completely owned this guy called Alfie Noakes. No, not Alfie Noakes. That's somebody who's here now. Wait. Is it? Just a second. Yeah, it is somebody who's here now. No. Wait, what's it? No. Let me go. Sorry about that, Alfie Noakes. My face is red. Just a second. She completely owned this complete bitch who was bitching about the book being just wrong in every way, even though he's not read it. You know, like Goblins do. That kind of opinionated person whose opinion is just a hodgepodge of other people's opinions and verdicts. So give me a second. Just a sec. I'm checking. By Christmas time, I will have the physique of a superhero. How are you going to do that, Antonio? By working out whilst on the chemoradiotherapy. That's right. You know, when your body's really battered. So if your body's really battered, one press up. Keith Moyes. Sorry, Alfie Noakes. 1,000. Right, dude, really serious. Just your name was last there in my mind. Keith Mays. Just a complete dumbass. Got owned by my daughter in her very first YouTube comment. I'm going to read it. I'm not going to bother reading his. You can glean what he wrote just from what Alicia Storen replied. So, this is what Alicia Storen wrote. You wrote that comment and got 3 likes. He wrote the book and he's and he's going to get 145 plus for 1 copy. Do you think that your comment would stop someone from buying the book? Or are you just in a bad mood? How about you keep your negative energy to yourself? Or, of course, you can spew it out on the comments on a video from a guy you've never met, my dad, who's currently having treatment for cancer, whichever gives you more pleasure. And she says spewing because he writes the word spew. Whichever gives you more pleasure. In fact, I'm glad you spent 5 minutes of your life writing that comment. Hopefully, it kept you occupied and distracted you from doing something stupid, ignorant, and meaningless. As for education, he has an honours degree in philosophy, so you're wrong about that too. That's right, that's my daughter. You can kind of tell, right? Totally owned by a 17-year-old just about to be 18. This silly boob. Right, let me close this. So, yeah, Alicia, first time I see you in the chat, that's so cool. Right, where am I going now? Wait a minute. No, here. Sorry, that's the page I'm displaying. I just showed you one of the things that I was listening to recently. So, catch up. I was recently... Cancer. Not really dealing with it. Psychiatric hospital. Why? Because not really dealing with it. Not dealing with it, but one of the ways I was dealing with it was with copious amounts of THC, and that's not really dealing with it when you present yourself at an accident emergency saying, can I have an appointment, when you've written out, because you don't want to speak because it hurts, appointment for ears, nose and throat please, and they say, why aren't you talking? Like, because I can't talk, because I want an appointment for ears, nose and throat, and that's how I think I'm presenting myself, but instead I'm presenting myself like this, because I've taken 2,000 micrograms of 20,000 micrograms, sorry, of THC oil. Instead, this is how I'm behaving. Super. If you look at the Hashishin, the origins of the word assassin, and that story, you'll see how I was behaving. You'll glean how I was behaving. Maybe I should add that to the new book. Ooh, I nearly gave the name away. Yeah, anyway, let me go back to the chat and tell you all that I'm doing fine. Keith Mays. Sorry, juggling windows, and it's a bit distracting because I've lost something. Oh, here it is. So, uh, I took myself to accident and emergency, and I took myself to the psych ward because some extraordinary things have been happening to me, and I wanted some clarification from either the psychiatrist or perhaps from it's a first edition. It's so I did 2 runs, Jason Rogers, and this is the second run. The first one was just black with white lettering. So I take myself to accident and emergency with my stuff packed for a likely stay at psychiatric ward, where I can hopefully speak to the. Anyway, long. Sorry, wobbly boost 20 micromilligrams. I see. Anyway, I thought, so guys, look, extraordinary things have been happening to me, including tumours disappearing, tumours reappearing, tumours diminishing, tumours migrating, learning things about cancer that I didn't know, like that it's diamagnetic. Oops, what's going on with my page? Hey, it's not showing eBay. It's supposed to be showing eBay in the background. Yeah, there you go. Just to show. Oh, actually, I never thought. I'll have an actual look. See if it's if there's any more bids. I'm going to refresh. See what happens. Dun, 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 dun. Nothing happened. That's what happened. Nothing. 17 bids. I take it that from now on the people who are bidding are just the kind of bidders that are like, well, I'm not bidding. I'm not going to raise the price for myself. I want it. I'm going to get it for £149.76 or whatever. Yeah, so discharged from hospital. Not. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I think I might have lost it. Discharged from hospital. I tell you what, that's enough. You've seen it. It's linked in the description anyway. So discharged from hospital, not on medication because there's nothing deeply wrong with me, not anything that's treatable with medication. Maybe an exorcism, with some of the hated flat earthers would say. Yeah, sorry, just going through Windows. Infinite Loot's awesome. Some bud does that to me. I have my favourites that are calming. Yeah, I prefer Karma. It's super power, super power. So please look into the history of the assassins or the Hashishin. Wait, there's some people highlighting my name. Right. So not on any medication, of course. Last year I say the sun at sunset at 20 degrees to the right I observed another bright light. I did not understand what I was seeing. Perhaps it was another array. Hammond Walker, that is exactly what it is. So I found a way of describing it with a tube, believe it or not. So if you picture a filament bundle that has all these filaments in it, and that's what we see as the sun, and that's pointing at you, and pointing at the guy next to you is another array, identical, and the next guy, and the next guy, and the next guy, and all that we have access to is this one filamentary tube called the sun, in what is actually a ring around the Earth. In the north, it's a ring around the Earth, or a wheel around the Earth. Depends how you want to look at it, because these are all magnetic field lines or magnetic arrays. And in the south, it's the same, except it's a smaller array pointing away from the north. From the north. Sorry, pointing away at its southernmost point, pointing away from the north. So this will be in the southern 360. remember how much Jeremy Sim and other people were making about the sun not doing a circle in the south? I smelt a rat there because I thought, well, guys, you don't know for sure. What if it does? If it does and you can't explain it, you're fucked. Assassins, NHS. So, sorry, I was just reading a comment. So, picture a wheel with other wheels. So this wheel, the Mayans explained it, you know, with diagrams and with actual turning wheels and gears. And there were supposed to be people who hadn't figured out the wheel. They figured out gears, but not the wheel. So you've got a central gear, okay, and you've got an infinite number of other gears, okay. The central gear makes the other gears turn. The moon is the back of the sun, okay. So in the same way that the north is the opposite of the south in magnetic field lines, or the centrifugal is the opposite to the centripetal. So the moon is the opposite of the sun. The moon, as Aaron Dover explained, the moon is literally the back of the sun. The back of the sun. The opposite of a tube. Picture that you have a tube, you're in the center of the tube, and you look one way along the tube and it's blue. And you look the other way along the tube and it's red. Okay, so the red would be the sun and the blue would be the moon. But the blue tube is not static, it's not a rigid tube. It's a tube that's doing a circle. And it illuminates the way it does because it's doing a circle. It's doing a circle, a vertical circle. Okay, not a horizontal, a vertical circle. Anyway, you have to get on your book to get a better description of that. Now, it's either my imagination or there's no other fucker explaining anything about the Earth. Okay, Aaron Dover left this place. Where are the other people explaining how things work? I know, I've seen some people explaining freaking triangles and pyramids and shit to do with a flat Earth that's got nothing to do with it. Like, what's his name? FPV Angel. Just complete wacko, cocky pop, just nonsense that's unverifiable and undemonstrable. So how about you discuss things that are demonstrable, that you can demonstrate? Like I've demonstrated that light diverges from a narrow slot. Newton himself wrote about it, explaining how the slot was 2 inches here and it was 12 inches at the far end, okay, in a letter to a colleague. So the camera obscura works on that same principle. It's like, come on, for God's sake, this stuff is plain to see. All the people who could explain Earth have left YouTube. There aren't any people who could explain Earth. Otherwise I would have explained it, Wobbly Boost. It's like, come on, where are they? And what did they explain? So, going back to Hammond Walkers, last year I saw the sun at sunset and 20 degrees to the right I observed another bright light. I did not understand what I was seeing, perhaps it was another ray. The whole thing is a race, the whole sky, the whole of existence is a race. All of it. There's no existence outside of any array. There's no existence without an array that props it, that generates it, that supports it. Time itself. Time itself. Anyway, so dagnabbit, where was I going? Yeah, so the book's available. If you want it, bid. If not, see if a pal of yours who's a flat earther has it and we'll lend it to you. I don't understand why I genuinely don't understand why anybody's bidding for it. I would just I would say in the chat, has anybody got the Book of the Sun that I might read, that I might borrow, and just borrow it from them? Like, really, I don't understand why people aren't doing that. That's what I would do. But hey, I suppose people want to have a physical copy so they can read and reread and reread and look and flick the pages over and then ponder and then test Hey, Gary Waybanger, how are you doing? Gary Waybanger, or Waybanger, is the guy who is showing he was making a video showing how the horizon rises to eye level, and there just so happens to be a droplet on the roof of his car, and I just so happened to see a filament in the droplet, you know, because attentive people notice things. So a tiny little tink filament, and I rewind. I'm like, what the heck? And I zoom up and zoom in. Right. Anyway, ships or buildings don't disappear bottom first because of obstruction. They become irresolvable bottom first because of angular compression and Rayleigh criterion effects. Yeah, my last video shows it clearly. Gary Waybanger. Yeah, that's it. It's as simple as that. The people think the Earth is a globe. Look, you know that there's a problem with globelings when they say about things disappearing bottom first. When you say, look, things disappear above you too. Okay, they disappear. A balloon, you can let go of a balloon and it will reach a point where it will literally disappear. Now, you don't have above you the balloon, you let go and it will reach a point where it will disappear. It's not left the atmosphere, it's just no longer resolvable. Okay, it has disappeared. Now, you don't know which side it disappeared from. You don't know if it disappeared from all sides at the same time. You don't know what happened. All you know is it's no longer visible. Now, when we're looking horizontally, we're looking at a different situation than vertically. We have to remember, horizontal is different to vertical. I know that globalists think there's no such thing as directions in space, you know, like up and down. No, there's no down in space, no up in space. Oh, really? There's no up and down and there's no left and right. Dumbass. What kind of mathematical grid are you using where you can just ascribe the same numbers everywhere? Oh, we'll just call that one, and we'll call that one. Call that one, call that one, we'll call that one. We'll go that way, 1. Mathematics has got, look, my sister was telling me earlier today the story of Pythagoras and how he freaked out when one of his students developed the square root and realized that the number 2, which was the most magical, wonderful number according to Pythagoras, didn't have a square root. And he just freaked out, disbanded his academy, went into a depression. This is navel gazing, and this is what the globalists do. They navel gaze. Infinite Loops Lawson, I said it to my doctor, and they truly believe things go over horizon, and I'm loopy. Yeah, Gary Waybank, I am feeling better. Thanks for asking. Well, thanks for saying. They think things go over the horizon because they've been told things go over the horizon. That's it. Now, we flat earthers understand, no, it's just getting to a point where the definition at the bottom is too indistinct from the bottom, whatever's at the bottom, be it grass, desert, ocean, it doesn't matter what. But the fact that things disappear vertically too with no obstruction should tell you, well, if they disappear vertically with no obstruction and we take those same criteria and we move them to a horizontal point where there's some other element that could serve as a limiting factor, then maybe that element will serve as a, well, limiting factor. You know, like the horizon. Anyway, so that's what happens. That's what happens in the real world. You have light generating effects that we translate through our eyes into phenomena that we experience, and then we come into arguments to convince people that it's this or it's that, and it's like, look, okay, you can listen to arguments, or you can just look. You can look yourself and do some thinking. What happens if you have two parallel lines horizontally? They meet at the horizon. Oh, wonderful. What happens if you raise them up vertically? Do they not meet? They meet at the same point. So it's an effect. Yeah, says Jason Rogers. Anyway, folks, that's it. Geez, I didn't mean this to go this long. I wanted this to be a little short one. That's it, folks. I'm going to quit. Thank you for joining. The link to the book, if you're interested or if you fancy sharing it with someone, is in the description. I hope you enjoy it if you win it. And if you don't and you can't afford it, if you haven't got one already, see if you can get your hands on one by just asking people, you know. Just go ahead and ask people, has anybody got the Book of the Sun? Somebody will say yes, so can I borrow it? What are they going to say? No. That seems a bit unlikely, at least to me anyway. Right, that's it, folks. I'm going. I will see you all again at some point. I start treatment on Monday proper. Oops, wait. So I don't know how. Sorry, Gary Waybanger. Don't spend too much time on the Nathan Oakley channel. You're going to get all kinds of stupid crap thrown into your brain, like what you just wrote about how globe beings believe that people have to stay too correct for Coriolis. Anyway, Infinite Luke Lawson, thank you very much, man. Thanks, I'll be fine. In fact, I will be like a superhero by Christmas. My physique will be like a superhero by Christmas. Why? Because I'm going to be working out whilst on radio chemotherapy, which means that my body will be battered to start off with. The whole point of pumping iron or doing any kind of exercise repeatedly is to tear your muscle, to cause, I forget what it's called. If your muscle tears easier, then you have to do less exercise to tear it, and it's in the repairing that the bulk comes. So I'm going to be tearing my muscles and repairing and getting like a superhero by Christmas, and you'll see, because I'll show you all. Right, that's it. I'm going. I'll see you all soon. Hope you're all well. Oh yeah, one last thing. If you know of anyone who's having a miserable time right now in this corona thing, just point out to them that you know this guy, or you watch this guy on YouTube, me, who has been having a whale of a time, an absolute amazing time, not just when I was stoned out of my bonds on THC, the rest of the time too. Like, I'm having a whale of a time right now, and I have a sore throat, and I'm busy actually doing YouTube, but I'm having a whale of a time, and I have cancer. What excuse do other people have to not have a whale of a time? I mean, I'm literally having a whale of a time. Why are other people not having it? Is it because you've got a rotten heart?